Why study business? Why study the principles of management? Why consider integrity in the marketplace? Is the goal to get as much as you can, to be as famous as you can? Because if that's the goal, then there's no need to have integrity. And that greed will be what drives you. It will be your motive. But if there's a greater goal, if you should be more ambitious than just to have the nicest car and the nicest house and the nicest part of the city, then you need to consider what it means to have a quality education. At UPH, we have a transformational education because it's a Christian education. And the starting point of Christian education is realizing that you are not God. There is a God who's given you gifts. There's a God who's given you resources. God's word is clear that all the riches are given to people by God. He is the owner of all things and the giver of all things. And that has tremendous implications on how you invest, on how you manage. It has tremendous implications on the way you view profit. You see, when we acknowledge that God is God and we are not, then it transforms the starting point of knowledge, but also the end goal. Because the truth is, education is more than just data. It's more than just information. It's more than just passing a test, and it's more than just getting a degree. You study business because you want to be the best businessman, the best businesswoman possible. You want to be the top of your field. But even then, the goal is not just to have as much money as possible, but it is to truly transform, to bring life, to bring renewal, to reorder the brokenness of this world and use your influence for something good. And how you invest your money will determine what kind of good you will create. But then you have to ask who defines what you invest in and why you invest. And if you pretend to be God and you're not God, then greed will drive you. You will have no integrity. You will lie to make money. You will stab people in the back to try to climb the ladder of status. But there is a greater end. God's word has a limitless supply of resources in giving us a biblical perspective on how to think about management, how to think about what it means to be a steward of what God has given us. How do we handle profit? How do we consider investment? What's the right way to think about the concepts of scarcity and abundance? God is the creator of the economy. God uses the economy in His purposes for His glory. And all people who participate in the economy and actually use their gifts within the economy in buying and selling are created in God's image. And they're created with inherent dignity and worth. You see, when we see things from a biblical perspective and study from a Christian worldview, then we understand that we have a different standard. We understand that we have a different perspective. We understand that we have a different motive and a different goal. That those who look only to their own self-satisfaction are actually settling for something far less than what they're created for. An author named C.S. Lewis says that those who don't understand the world from a Christian worldview are like children who make mud pies in a slum, thinking that that's all the world has to offer, when the infinite joy of a holiday at the beach is offered. True education, holistic, excellent, transformational education comes only through a biblical worldview, understanding what it means to be created in God's image and to use what He's given us for His glory.